So Rohit, fantastic to be here.
Thank you.
Eat Around the Corner in Bandra is one of my favorite go-to places for meetings, whether it is for work or for with friends, and that's been true for many, many years. And what's amazing about Eat Around the Corner is it's been around for so long. And when you look at the restaurant business, a restaurant, for it to survive even 2 or 3 years is a big deal.
Correct.
And you've managed to cross 25 years,
Yes.
not just in EATC, but in your other brands as well, like Pizza by the Bay, All Stir Fry.
Correct.
And what's the magic? What's the secret?
I always believe that longevity of a product or an experience is 99% of the team that we have. It's the front line that really deals with the customers. It's the front line that really produces the product, etc. So as long as they're happy, they're satisfied, and they believe in what they're doing, I don't see any reason why any product will not be an experience a customer wants.
In fact, speaking about your team, I know for a fact, of course, since a long time ago when I worked with your brother and your sister, with Sanjay and Rachna Narang, from then even until now, I see very many familiar faces.
Yes.
So people
Yes.
have stayed with you for 10 years, 20 years. What's the reason? I mean, what's the reason people like to stay with the Narangs?
I think it's best to always ask them,
Yeah.
but I can speak on their behalf.
Yes.
We as a family have always had a very open door policy. We have always believed, like I said earlier, that it's the strength of the front line that really makes a product work. So we look after our people
Yes.
as our own family. We always work as a team. We've always lent, an open ear to anything they have. We
Yes.
get involved wherever they want us to.
Sure.
We know their families. We speak to each other throughout the day. So there is no real boss subordinate relationship in this setup.
Okay.
Everything is open-ended. We work together, we clean together, we serve together. And I think that's what builds teamwork and also builds a lot of credibility with our people.
Sure, sure. And with the guests, what do you find is popular, or what's the reason people like to come to Eat Around the Corner, or there would be a different reason why they like to go to All Stir Fry,
Correct.
or a different reason why they go to Pizza by the Bay. So
Correct.
what are the consumers thinking? What are guests thinking? Why do they visit?
I personally feel, like you said very correctly, each outlet has its uniqueness. Let's talk Eat Around the Corner. I think people just love the relaxed atmosphere. They all know that it's very clean, it's very hygienic. We work on nutrition. Everything is freshly baked. We have our own bakery. We create our own products. We have an in-house design team. And we are constantly evolving to ensure that we're giving top-notch products.
Sure.
So I think really, if you ask me the one word or the one thing that people really love, is that they know they're going to get good quality food with great service.
Sure.
Yeah.
And with the Narangs, one thing that I've always seen with all of you is there's a certain element of style in your personal being, and which is reflected in all of your design elements in every space that you create, every brand that you create. There's a certain style. And where does that come from?
To be honest, I give full credit to my brother Sanjay and my sister Rachna. They have created these concepts, they have nurtured them, they have gone into every single detail so meticulously that I have just stood in awe learning
Yes.
from how they operate. And I can honestly say, both of them are an institution by themselves.
100% I agree with you. I've had the good fortune of working with both of them.
Right.
I was looking after the Taj Birdies chain of outlets, the operations there, a long time back with them. And I got a feel of how they work. In fact, I'd say that they are amongst the most underrated restaurateurs in the city. They've created concepts like we were speaking about earlier, Dosa
Yes.
Diner, which was ahead of its time, where non-vegetarian food in dosas was unheard of in those days.
Correct.
And the kind of experiments that they did with different brands, even though some of the brands failed, it was, as they say nowadays, fail big, fail fast, and then move on. I think they actually lived that way before that saying became a saying. I think he must have created that probably.
I would rephrase to some extent
Okay.
whatever I've learned working with Sanjay and Rachna
Yeah.
is that they've never looked at anything as a failure. He's
Okay.
always told me that let's have fun.
Okay.
Let's build something we like.
Yes.
Let's build something and enjoy it.
Yes.
So every time something was created,
Right.
regardless of it having longevity or not,
Yes.
the fun that we had doing it, the
True.
friendships we built,
Yes.
the team we had,
Yeah.
who's still there today,
Sure.
saw the efforts
Yeah.
and saw the initiative. And when we come back to the question you asked me earlier, why do you have a team that's been there so long?
Yeah.
It is because they saw us work through the concept. They saw the concept may not have clicked with everybody.
Sure.
But the efforts that went in was the real success. And so therefore I wouldn't coin it as failure in that sense. I would
Sure.
coin it as we had a blast. We had
Absolutely.
fun creating it and we
Absolutely.
keep doing it again and again.
Absolutely.
You know?
No, in fact, speaking about doing it again and again, if I look at two of your brands, Eat Round the Corner was once upon a time called Just Round the Corner.
Correct.
And Pizza by the Bay was once upon a time called Jazz by
Jazz
the Bay.
by the Bay, correct.
So what was that about?
Okay, so there is a bit of a history to Just Around the Corner and Eat Around the Corner. The brand was sold as Just Around the Corner some many years ago.
Okay.
So when the brand was sold as that name, obviously the location belongs to us.
Sure.
And therefore we had to change the name to Eat Around the Corner.
Yeah.
There's nothing more to it,
Okay.
to be honest. So it's exactly the same. But because we decided to sell the brand to certain individuals,
Okay.
it became Eat Around the Corner.
Okay.
Pizza by the Bay, Jazz by the Bay, in fact, it was talk of the town in the 70s and 80s as a very well-known restaurant. Has evolved with the people.
Okay.
So there was a time in the 90s and early 2000s where jazz was just big, karaoke
Absolutely.
was huge, and we evolved. But what we kept consistent was the experience of the service and the product.
Okay.
So it's just evolved over time, and we realized that the location being absolutely prime.
Yeah.
And pizzas became a big thing, I think, maybe in the 2000s. The pizzas became very, very popular.
Right.
And we ventured into that, and we did a lot of R&D on what we like as pizzas. We actually traveled all through Europe.
Yeah.
I remember all of us traveling through Europe, eating
Yep.
different pizzas. I've never eaten so much pizza in my life.
Okay.
But we got it right. We took the chefs, we got it right, we got the doughs, we got the combination of cheese.
Yes.
And worked really hard to get it done. And there we are.
No, absolutely. I think the lasagna and the pizza in Pizza by the Bay is phenomenal. Here, my favorite is the baked yogurt. I know it may not be one of your very popular dishes. Maybe not many people even know about it. But every time there's a seasonal change, so now it's mango. Today
Yes,
it's mango.
yes.
And that's something that's my go-to kind
Amazing.
of.
Good to hear that. Good to hear that,
Yeah, yeah. So speaking about real estate, you said that, you own the space.
Yes,
You
yes.
own the space also at Pizza by the Bay
Yes,
and
we
the
do.
Gordon House Hotel,
Yes.
within which there's
Yes,
Oyster
Oyster
Fry.
Fry, correct.
So that's very uncommon for the restaurant business that you own your spaces. There are
Correct.
people who do, but it's not the rule, it's an exception.
right,
Was that
right.
by design or how is that?
I think we consciously took a decision that it's best to run our properties and our product in places we own.
Okay.
Fortunately, we have a lot of property, and therefore we started developing on those lines, and that's how we built forward. I think as a family and as a company, we will continue to work in this manner. If we decide to branch out, we would probably do it within our own properties.
Okay. So it's a conscious
Yes,
decision
absolutely.
to run it that
Yes.
way. Is it that you find that landlords are kind of flaky and they change their minds and therefore just to secure your brand, you would like some sort of
I think,
surety?
honestly, Ravi, I think we're lucky to have enough property to build.
Yes.
Not everybody has that opportunity.
Sure.
And so maybe if we didn't, our thinking would have been different. Landlords being flaky, I don't think is really a concern. I think the issue is if I've got my own space, why not develop that
Sure.
versus trying to develop another space and have that headache of a rental
Right.
always on me.
Okay.
So it's not always just about investing in another property or somebody else's property. I think it's also about knowing that this will remain with me, and if it doesn't work, I don't have the problem of dealing with the landlords, etc. I can just revamp, rechange, and then come
Sure.
up with something fresh.
But then when you're a landlord yourself,
Yes.
are there situations when you feel you could perhaps have given the space out to someone else to run and just relax and not have to work so hard in the business?
It's interesting you asked me that. I said this to my father once.
Okay.
I said, Dad, you know what? There could be a huge potential
Yeah.
to just give this out
Yes.
and get much better returns. So he asked me, son, have you grown up to be a landlord or an entrepreneur? Straight to my face.
Sure.
And I said, Dad, but let's look at the bottom line. He told me that bottom lines don't matter.
Okay.
What you do, what you enjoy matters.
Yes.
Would you enjoy being a landlord, or would you enjoy running your own business?
Yes.
And I said, Dad, I'm with you. Let's run our own business and keep moving in that direction.
And he led the Ambassador
Yes,
Hotel
absolutely.
and
Yes,
I mean
he has built
renowned in the
everything
industry
from scratch.
for that.
From scratch, yes.
For that and then of course Sanjay did the Ambassador Flight Kitchen,
Yes, absolutely.
which was in fact I remember at Taj Birdies when I worked with them, there was rumor that he'd actually turned around the Taj cake shop chain from a
Yes.
loss-making or a not so
Yeah.
profitable one to a healthy profit.
Yes,
And Ajit Kerkar,
Yes.
the then director of the Taj, gifted him a BMW or something like that.
I'm
I
not
don't know.
aware, I'm not aware of
that was the rumor at that time.
But I do know that Sanjay did turn around
Yeah.
everything he's touched.
Yep, yep.
I'll put it that way.
Sure.
And it, full credibility to his ability to be forward thinking.
Yep.
And really be out of the box
Yes.
in his approach to solving problems or to creating new concepts.
Yes.
And I always say that to all youngsters today, don't be afraid to fail. I
Sure.
mean, it's okay. It's a stepping stone to success.
Yes.
So go ahead, give it your best. The key is to believe in what you're doing
Yes.
and enjoy yourself.
Yes.
At the
yes.
end of the day, there's only so much time we have. So
Absolutely.
let's have a great time. Let's build and let's accept failures as part of life.
Sure.
And move ahead.
Sure. I remember one of the many great qualities of Sanjay was his practicality. And on one occasion, I remember he had asked his driver to drive the car across from Bandra to this some street that he had an office in Marine Drive or something like
Okay,
that, or Churney Road.
Right.
He had an office.
Yes.
And he himself traveled by train to
Yes.
go faster because that was more practical.
Yes, yes.
And hats off to him for that.
Absolutely. He would
You know?
he would take the scooter from the house,
Okay.
go to the train station,
Yes.
board the train, and have the car
Yes.
pick him up
Yes.
over there. So that was a much faster move versus sitting in a car for an hour and a half.
Absolutely.
Today times have changed. The coastal road,
Yeah.
it's brilliant.
True.
20 minutes into town, could never imagine.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the other thing was when I worked with you
Yes. Yes.
separately,
Yes.
not in the Narang
Yes.
group.
Yes.
But when I worked with you separately with Atul Ruia as the bridge
Yes.
between us,
Yes.
and I think I was VP Projects and Development at Galaxy, and
Correct.
you ran Ra and Lush
Lush,
there.
correct.
And then I was kind of we had a lot of time spent time crunching numbers.
Yes,
We
yes.
spent time looking at clauses and discussing
Yes,
and debating
yes,
all
it was
those
fun.
legal clauses
Absolutely,
and all that
yeah.
stuff. And now it's it's been so long. You sort of each of us has evolved as professionals in the space, but these brands were originally created by Sanjay and Rachna.
Right.
And how was it for you to take up that kind of a family legacy, which
Right.
was already standing tall? And how was it for you?
Yeah, I actually fit in very, very easily. I have been part and parcel of this business ever since the age of 13 or 14. Our father never allowed us to have vacations like a typical vacation.
Absolutely.
We had to sit in his office and watch him. Just in those days, there was no delegation.
Yeah.
Today we delegate. In those days, you would call each manager and fire the hell out of him.
Absolutely.
And then my dad said, "See, now they'll work."
Yeah.
So it was more of a fear factor
Yeah.
that we saw. But the nuances, the intricacies of working in such a setup don't leave you.
Sure.
Don't leave you. And therefore, to work within a family setup, to work with brands that exist, to grow them, to add to them, it's just it's a sixth sense, or it's a natural instinct that comes in. I don't think so much about it.
Sure.
Some ideas come, I'm sleeping at night, something comes to me, I write it down, I call my office, or I send a message.
Yeah.
And that's how we continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've always felt about business leaders, specifically in our industry, because we work so hard, we work long hours, and I find many people don't take care of themselves, don't take care of their health.
Right.
But I think you and I are an exception.
Yes,
You specifically
yes.
have some sort of a fitness routine, or have, you practice certain things in diet, or you take care of yourself. Could you share your thoughts about, in terms of fitness or health? Why do you feel it's important for business leaders? How do you approach it?
I got into health and fitness almost 40 years ago. So I have been maintaining the same schedule. I'm in bed by 9 or 9:30. I'm up by 5:30. I cannot leave my house without my workout.
Okay.
I can't deal with people.
Yep.
I can't deal with anything. I
Yeah.
have to get the workout through.
Yeah.
I'm very conscious about my food. I will go to great extents, and I'm very lucky
Yes.
to have so many great chefs working with me.
Yes.
So each one is trying to create a new recipe. I give them recipes. We spend time just informally, casually chatting about different kinds of food,
Yeah.
nutrition, etc., which is what I enjoy.
Okay.
I've always felt, and I think that it's discipline that beats motivation. So to be disciplined in the head, to have a schedule wherein you know that you have a 9, you have a 5 a.m., you have a workout, etc., keeps you focused on your physical level, as
Sure.
well as keeps your mind very alert
Sure.
to what has to be done at the workspace.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a great combination if one can manage.
Absolutely. No, I understand.
Just to let you know, even during COVID,
Yeah.
I remember when everybody was there till 2 o'clock and they had these COVID parties on the call, etc. I was still in bed by 9:30. I was still up by 5:30.
In fact, I wanted to ask you, you don't miss any aspect of a social life, so to speak?
So my social life is really one day in a week, possibly a Friday or a Saturday. Now I've made it once in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And everybody who knows me knows that I'm not going to be out during the week. It's a very, very rare thing. So I would socialize only on that one day or one night.
Right.
And that's when I make the most of it. I would not
Sure.
sip or touch any alcohol at all during the week under any circumstances.
Yes.
And that's because I know I have to get up in the morning for my workouts, etc. And I enjoy it. I mean, I don't feel I'm missing out at all.
No, I love sweets, and I have had the discipline to look at that for quite
And not
some
touch
time
it.
now.
I've seen that.
Not touch it for the moment, but I will go
Freshly
ahead.
made. It's freshly made. Baked late last night. Got in early this morning at 7 a.m.
Okay.
You can't get fresher than this. Ravi.
Okay. No.
We've just
Undoubtedly.
created our new bakery as well. So
Okay.
So everything is
So you
freshly
have a central
prepared.
kitchen
We have a
from which
central
everything
kitchen
comes?
where everything comes from. All our breads. We have various kinds of multigrain, sourdough, whole wheat. I mean, everything. We have everything today.
No, it's really fresh.
Yeah, thank you.
It's really
thank you. And we work hard to get it done right.
Okay.
Really, we do.
Okay. So many people would be tempted in your position if you have successful brands like EATC, like Pizza by the Bay. Normally, people speak about scalability in businesses. That
Right.
why don't you expand it? Haven't you ever been tempted? Why are you not expanding? Or is that a conscious choice as well?
No, I think it's a very conscious choice. There's people have huge ambitions. People chase, say, money or things like that. I think for us, it's let's chase fun. Let's chase happiness.
Okay.
And let's be assured that what we have, we do so well that it stands out
Sure.
versus trying to grow something just to multiply numbers. So it's a very, very conscious decision that if I have a Pizza by the Bay, I have it where I have it.
Right.
I make sure that it's as perfect as I can make it.
Okay.
If I feel I lose control by opening various outlets on quality, I won't do it.
Okay.
And that's how we work. So it may not be the most typical business,
Yeah.
but we're happy, we're enjoying ourselves.
Yeah, your
We've
customers
got-
are certainly
customers
happy and the team is happy.
And we're good with this.
Okay.
We're good with this.
So then, what's the plan? Is your plan to keep it as it is and maintain this quality, or is it to? I mean, what's the future of the company?
So there are a couple of things coming up. We're looking at creating a few more new brands now. I'll let you know sometime in October
Okay.
as to what the new things are.
Okay.
But there's definitely some really good stuff coming in the pipeline.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
So, super to have spent time with
My
you.
pleasure,
It's always
always
a joy
lovely.
to spend time with
Yeah.
you, Rohit.
Yeah.
And hope to catch up again with you soon.
Anytime. It'll be my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
so
very
much.
much.
Thank you.